PHP does not have your back. Let's look at some different things you can do that maybe should be errors and in PHP are not. Okay, so in a lot of languages, before you use a variable, you have to declare it. Okay, in PHP, you don't. You can just go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and say something like, my favorite color gets yellow, semicolon. Great, echo my fave color, and as we expect, we have the string yellow. And I just introduced that variable right there by using it, by assigning to it. Okay, well, you're like, hey, that's kind of convenient. I don't have to spend that whole line saying var my fave color like I do in stupid JavaScript. Yeah, well, look at this. I'm going to go ahead and echo, let's see, what was my favorite color again? My fave color. And that's not an error. In fact, if I go and look at var dump I misspelled this, I left off a letter, and I get back null, some sort of value there. If I'm doing a string append, so something along the lines of, I'll do a var dump again, hello string append my fav color, okay, and I get back the string hello, and I probably should have gotten an error. I would have liked it if it would have gotten an error. So we just need to be careful to spell every variable name correctly. The moment you misspell something, boom, you're making a brand new variable that is initialized to the value null. There are certain type conversions we'll see in the next video that will actually try to make sense of using null in different contexts. In this case, null got turned into an empty string, and then it did a string append after that. Okay, so how about echo my fave color? Now, this is a problem. I've left off the $sign. I haven't put quotes around this either. This is not a string, it's not a variable, it's nothing. What, it echoes this? Let's do a var dump and see what's going on. It turned that into a string for me. I left quotes off. Yeah, we'll assume it was a string. Yeah, that's probably an error. It's kind of frustrating. In real life, if you're a construction worker and your boss tells you, hey, this house we're building here, go down in the basement and turn off the spigot on the gas pipe. We're going to be doing some work here. We don't want an accident. You go downstairs and you find the gas pipe and the spigot is not yet on it. Okay? So you say, hey, I'm just going to do nothing. You come back up, you don't report back to your boss, you just sort of assume, your boss assumes that you did your task. They start working and kaboom! That's criminal negligence. You go to jail for doing that. PHP, not so much. PHP is criminally negligent. There are things that clearly should be errors but are not. Let me just mention a couple more before I tell you how the workaround, the fix. Okay, so echo not a real var yet plus 17. Of course, again, we have a variable that popped into existence, had the value null, and then null with arithmetic turned into a 0. So how about things that are not an array at all, square brackets, element 43? Null. You guessed it. There was null. Again, I'll use var dump instead of echo sometimes. And I try different things. Just combining some of these, not an array, to not an index either, plus 23, null. No errors given whatsoever. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so here's what you should do in your programs. People have realized, oh my goodness, this is not the behavior we want. We should be reporting errors for this. They added later to PHP, they came back and patched it by saying, okay, you can go ahead and call a special function we've added to the language error reporting. And you pass error reporting a level of error reporting, use e_all. Okay, so that's a void function. I'm just going to call it, and now I can do something like echo not a var today, and now I get a notice undefined variable on line 1. Okay, so echo 3 plus not a var today, and I still get that notice. I still get the answer 3 back, but at least I get this notice printed to the standard error as well. You will see a lot of websites that say, hey, in your PHP programs, go ahead and turn on error reporting while you're in development, and once you actually deploy your app out to the web, turn it off. Because we don't want messages like this, notice undefined variable, blah, 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 leaking out of my web page to the end consumer. I disagree with that advice. Turn on the error reporting and leave it on. In your live application, leave it on. In particular, somebody's visiting your web page, they have some operation, an error happens. If you don't report anything at all, the customer might think, hey, my reservation was made successfully. If it comes up with some error message, the customer may not have any idea what that error message means, and they might be really suspicious and say, what a crappy site. But they might also double check whether or not the reservation really happened, okay? And they might let you know about it, which is better than hush hush. If we didn't make a reservation for them, I guess that'll be customer service's problem later. So, yeah, turn on error reporting, leave it on. Okay, put this at the top of every file that has PHP code. You want this more or less as the first statement. Sometimes students want to put this down at the bottom. That's no good when PHP runs a file. It starts at the top and runs each line. And if it doesn't turn on error reporting until after it's on all the other lines, it's not much use. So turn it on the top and routinely put that in all your files. Okay, PHP still doesn't have your back, but at least we'll get some errors in the really egregious situations.